everybody. Aaron Hendon here with Christine and Company over at Keller Williams. And today's interview is one of really my favorite interviews ever. Why? Because I love music. It's not an accident that I've got a picture of the king in my house, because music really is everything to me. And I got to interview Pete and Allison, who have been the heart and soul of music here on Vashon really forever. They are responsible for Vashon Events, for building up a really great scene, a real great revolving music scene, both of local musicians and imported musicians doing live events. They're going to talk about the history of it. They've just opened a music instrument lending library here on Vashon. So if you're on Vashon and you need to borrow an instrument for a concert or just to play, to learn how to play, there's literally a lending library of musical instruments now that they are responsible for. They're just fantastic people. Enjoy the interview. It's really one of my favorite interviews I've ever gotten to do. They are fantastic. I only have 2 mics, so I gave them both the mics, but they're the most important people to talk anyway. You don't really need to hear me anymore. So enjoy the interview, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
First of all, thanks for doing this. I was really excited. I'm really excited that Pete made sure that you were going to be here, because I just love musicians, and I love your work, and I love what people have to do to get up on stage and to have that be their life. I just love it. Love it. So tell me about Vashon Events. Tell me how you got started in bringing music to Vashon, what you're interested in is, and then how you guys work together to have that happen. Just give me the whole backstory.
Well, let's see, it was about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right around Christmas time, and Pete and I were looking at just what is there to do out there, and at the time there was and there still is today, there's a Vashon calendar that it's got everything on it, from events to yoga classes to church to everything, and but it was it wasn't really pleasing to look at, and anyway, we just looked at it and we thought, this is a great community resource, but we could do it better. And so
and for entertainment only,
right?
Not so much the classes and other things like that, lectures,
But something that people could go to and they could make their plans for the weekend and say, oh, let's hire a babysitter. Right. Let's make plans and go out. So anyway, we decided to start this website, and it was originally meant to be a community calendar. And Pete had been booking music already for years. The Island Earth Fair, and then at the Red Bike, and
Strawberry Festival,
right.
A lot of different things. And I think really for me, having to navigate websites, especially like musicians' websites, I want to look at something that's visually pleasing. So for me to go to a website and see nothing but text, it drives me crazy. Right. So I need color, I need photos, I need video, I need to see all that kind of stuff. And so that entered into, why we were doing this website too. We wanted it to be visually pleasing for other people. So.
We wanted it to look like a bulletin board. So you walk up to Thriftway or whatever, and you look up at the bulletin board and you see the posters, and only with this you click in and you get to read more and watch videos and so on. So anyway, we set up the website, and we're kind of like ready, set, go, and we didn't really know where it was going to lead or what was going to be involved, but it grew from there. We asked people to join a newsletter. We started doing a weekly newsletter, and asked people to join and make donations, and so anyway, it grew from there, and now, we have a list of 2,500 people on our email list.
That's great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Most of those are Islanders too, so and we don't get that many unsubscribes anymore either. So it's a pretty solid list of people that seem to be interested in what's going on out here. So right. It's nice.
And how do you promote it, and how do they find it?
Well, let's see. you sign up for the email by going to our website, but every once in a while we do postcards that we set around town, especially if there's an event that we're promoting. We talk about it at our events,
Right.
and our Facebook page is popular and so on. So
Cool. And tell me about the music scene here. How's it grown over the years, and what do you see for the future, and what are
the music scene here is really vibrant. There's music going on almost every day of the week that you can go out and see, and that's different. As a musician, I just played on Camino Island, and that island is thirsty for music. They have, one or two venues that do music maybe one time a week, and it's growing. But music, we have found it really brings the community together, and that's another thing that was important to us is we don't want to just promote our own shows that we're booking. We want to promote everyone's shows, and not just music, but performing arts as well. So theater, and we also do the movie, even though movies aren't really performing arts, but we support the local movie theater. And
because those guys are great.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, we tried, when we started getting into, booking more venues and more music shows, we wanted to raise the bar a little bit. So, it's like, for instance, we started working with the farmers market and bringing music there and booking the music and, making sure that they have all the right equipment, working with Caleb, who's the manager over there, and just bringing it up a level. And I think we've done that, and it's been great. We've had some amazing musicians, both local and off island, come in there. Same with Strawberry Festival. Concerts in the park has been a real
Getting bigger
uplifting challenge. It's been a lot of fun just trying to bring in some really cool bands that maybe this community hasn't seen yet. So and bring in some of our locals to shine as well, like Ian Moore and Great Divide. Things like that.
Yeah.
So.
And how's and in terms of turnout and people showing up at music, and what's it from your perspective as the person doing the booking? It's certainly grown, but what's your perspective on how many people show up, and what's how's the reception to live music on the island?
Well, it varies.
Yeah.
I always tell Allison, I'm always nervous, before a show, because I feel like nobody's going to show up. It's just my, this built-in thing that drives me crazy. But, more often than not, people do show up. And, maybe sometimes they're fashionably late, but they're there. And like us, we try and support everything, not just what we do, but what other people create too. And sometimes we're doing a lot of bouncing around, from venue to venue. We see a little bit of each, but we're trying to support everybody whenever we can.
Yeah.
But like the concerts in the park they're like 500 people show up to that, get 100 people in the bike. We're actually hurting for kind of a more mid-sized venue that we can book shows at. Some of our own shows that we do here, they're just too crowded, and we're just.
What do you do here at the bike?
Here at the bike, yeah, we're packed to the gills, and
like the retrospective nights and like.
The showcases that we do. Yeah.
Well, and some of our shows like Clinton Farron and so on that we bring in there. It's great. This venue is great in that it's centrally located.
Yeah.
It's right downtown, and it's got the nice small. You don't want a big cavernous feel. You like to feel like you're surrounded by other people enjoying the music. But if we just had a little more space, we talk about that all the time. But
have you talked to David about the renovation of the O space and how
Yes.
Because that seems like
that's exciting.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
The mid-size one, the Black Box Theater. Yeah. We plan on doing a little more talking with him on that, because I think that would be an excellent location for some of these shows.
Yeah, because he's really moving on making sure that kind of thing works, having a lot of different venues and stuff.
We love what they're doing over there at the O Space.
Yeah.
David gave us a tour, and man, It looks great.
Yeah.
So
He's next on my list to interview. So.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. Well, what do you see as for the future? What do what plans do you have? What Vashon Events? What's coming up, and what do you see like 2 years, 3 years? What do you see happen?
We're just about to get our nonprofit status. Right now we're a state registered nonprofit, but we're about to get our 501c3. Our applications and being reviewed, and we're just waiting for the certificate to come back. But once that happens, we feel like we're going to be able to grow a little bit more. Right now it's just Pete and I, hammering away at everything. But some of the things that we want to do are we want to have. So we have a longer mission, but our tagline is building community and supporting musicians. And supporting musicians is something that I think is going to grow a lot in the upcoming year. We want to have workshops that teach musicians social media and how to do a press kit, how to work with a sound engineer.
Like for musicians?
Yeah.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, for us, booking venues, a lot of musicians or bands, they don't have a press kit.
Right.
And so it's almost, I've got nothing against musicians that don't have that together. I'd like to help them, create those packages so that it makes it easier. And they can use this package, for other gigs. And once you get it done, you just fine tune it. But yeah, a lot of people don't have all that stuff. So you're like, do you have a band picture? Do you have a press release or a bio or whatever? And we want to help them create that stuff. And
there's a lot of musicians on the island and bands that they start off playing here in their hometown, and they start getting a crowd, and they're doing really well, and they're ready to move off the island. And to move off the island, you have to have certain things in place. So we want to support musicians and bands doing that.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that Vashon Events, it's not just our website telling people about events and our newsletter doing the same, but we have other things that we're working on and developing. And one of them is like a music instrument library. We have tons of instruments that are available for people to check out for free. Just sort of see if, is the, accordion? Am I meant to play the accordion?
No one is meant to play the accordion.
Or a banjo, or we have so many different things that people can check out.
Trombone, we have a harp, we have harpsichord, we have all kinds of guitar, 12-string guitar, tenor
Keyboards,
guitar, banjo,
drum
ukulele.
kit.
Anything that you would want to check out and try it out and see if it might be for you.
Good for kids, that don't really know what they want to do. They can test it out, see if they love it, switch to something else. Great for adults too.
I had no idea.
We have a ton of guitars, and especially in the summer, sometimes people will have someone visiting that plays guitar and didn't bring their guitar with them, and they'll borrow it for the weekend, borrow a guitar so they can play some music while they're sitting around. So
I had no idea that was available.
yeah,
That's killer.
We have a music teacher directory where we kind of showcase our music teachers on the island. Their specialties, what they teach, and how you can get a hold of them, and pictures and things like that too. So if you're looking for lessons, you can go to our website.
That's great. Very cool. All right, anything coming up that we should know about? Anything now in the end of the year, or in the spring? Any big shows?
Well, our next show is in December. It's one that we've done 2 or 3 times.
3 at least. I think this is our 4th.
Yeah, and it's called We'll Sing for Vashon. It's a holiday showcase. It's a lot of fun. People get up and we sort of it's like our typical showcase where we rotate a lot of performers through, and they'll be singing holiday songs. And we try to say it's holiday songs, not Christmas songs, so they can sing whatever they want. And then
Even just winter themed, but those are great. It's great because pro musicians can come out and just do one song. Amateur musicians can get up on the stage for the first time. And then this show is special because we accept donations on behalf of any nonprofit on the island. So there's an envelope on the table. It lists out, the main charities on the island, or you can write in a different one if you don't see your favorite charity there. And so when the music moves you, then, hopefully you'll put a little money in the envelope, and that, goes to the charity of your choice.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's excellent. All right, good. Anything else you want people to know about music on the island or Vashon Events or anything like that?
Well,
Anything
in February we're doing, we always do love duets, so two people have to sing a duet together. And then in the spring we're doing hits of the 70s. So
Yeah, Hits
that's
of the
exciting.
80s was
It was a hit.
incredible.
It was a hit.
It was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've done the 60s and then we did the 80s, so now we're going to go back and do the 70s.
Excellent.
What else, like other...
Well, we're going to start gearing up for concerts in the park next summer, so we'll start working on that in January. Same with Strawberry Festival.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. You start early and you work all the way through the end of the summer. So.
Well, I guess we didn't mention that we also book music at the Vashon Community Care
Oh,
for
yeah.
the old folks. They can't get out anymore,
Yeah.
so we bring the music to them. And so, yeah.
Cool.
Lots of opportunities to play music, lots of opportunities to hear music.
That's great. How'd you get started in booking music?
I would say maybe 15 years ago. I'm friends with Erin Kinney, who runs Cedar Song School, and she was booking music at Island Earth Fair out in Paradise Ridge Park. And she was over one day and she said, I can't do this anymore. I got too much going on. I think she was going to have a baby at that point, and she was thinking about this school, and there was just a lot going on in her life. And I said, well, tell me what you do, and maybe I could do it. And, so I started doing that at Island Earth Fair, booking music there. She showed me a little bit about how you do it, and then I put my own spin on it, and did some great shows at Island Earth Fair, and did that for a little while, and then just sort of morphed into doing music here at the Bike, Snapdragon hardware store.
Yeah. Cool. I'm always interested how people get started in that. Great. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and that's it. Just thanks
Thank
for
you.
taking the time.
Thank you.